Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, one thing I'm going to try to start doing is this new series called Just In the News. And basically, I'm just talking about different subjects and things that are trending that everybody's talking about that maybe I didn't get the opportunity to initially do a video on because maybe I wasn't in the state or I wasn't home or I just wasn't in the capacity to film. And like, to be honest, like October and November have killed me because there have been so many things that went down and I couldn't do a video on it because I just wasn't here. Like, I was in Orlando for a few weeks. I was in the tri-state area. I go to LA tomorrow, and listen, I guarantee you, while I'm in LA for like the next 4 or 5 days, something is going to happen that everybody's going to be talking about, and I will not be able to do a video on it because I'm not going to have my cameras with me. Like, I don't know, Donald Trump is going to punch Rex Tillerson in the heart or something, and I'm going to be like, dang, I can't even do a video on it. But anyway, so some of you guys have always been, you know, a lot of times you guys will send me comments and ask me about a situation that's going on in the news, and I actually do see them. I just sometimes don't get a chance to respond. So this is also that opportunity for me to respond to some of the things you asked about. One of the things that you guys all asked me about was Meek Mill. So let me get into Meek. So as far as the situation, I honestly don't have the full story on Meek because I haven't really researched. But all I know is, hey, they sending him back to jail for a probation violation, possibly facing 2 to 4 years. And here's my 2 cents, because people were asking, like, you know, is it fair? Is it over the top? Is it his fault because he should have done what he needed to do? My 2 cents, of course, the judicial system is already kind of jacked anyway. Like, my issue with the judicial system is that everything is not consistent and everything varies, especially when you go from state law to federal law, and there's just so many things that vary. So, like, if you look at something simple, well, not simple, but if you look at something like the DC sniper shooter and how he killed like 12 people and he got the death penalty. But on the contrast, you go over to Washington State and you had the Green River Killer. That guy killed 48 women, and because all of the women that he killed, their bodies were found in King County, Washington, which does not do the death penalty, he was able to live, on top of the fact that they made a deal where if, you know, you go and help find all the bodies, we'll, you know, blah, 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 blah. So this man pretty much just had to show the police, well, I killed her and I put her under there. I killed this lady, put her under the rock. I killed this lady, buried her in the truck. If you look under this log, there's like 2 more bodies over there. And there were 2 twins that I buried next to the tree. You know, he got off. Or not got off, he still is in jail for life. But, you know, it's just weird because there's not an element of consistency. And so the same thing happens when it comes to like parole violations or probation and things like that too. Like, a lot of people, some people get just the book thrown at them and other people literally get a slap on the wrist. And so I don't know, man. I would have to do my own research on everything to see. And some people are like, well, you know, he had a black judge, this and the third. And I'm like, at the end of the day, it's still the judicial system. And depending on how the circumstances were set up, stuff is just jacked, man. But honestly, like, my thing is, and I always tell this to my cousins that are always back and forth, like, listen, when you're in probation, just stay in the house. Just stay in the house and find a hobby. Like, if you stay in the house, you are good. Like, nothing can happen. It's kind of like, you got to learn to master the system. You got to make things work. Like, I remember when I was younger, like, man, one thing that used to always happen, like, if my brother got a whooping for something, my dad would always find something that I ended up doing wrong too, and then I had to be next. So a lot of times, like, if my brother was getting a whooping or something, listen, I would just start cleaning the house. Like, my dad start pulling that belt off, I could get the vacuum, just start cleaning, because I'm like, please don't come after me about something, because my dad would fuss at Marcus about something, and then come to me, didn't I tell you to cut the grass? I'm like, dang, well, it was raining outside, what you want me to do? Like, and then you get a whooping for trying to cut the grass in rain. So yeah, so it's just like, find a hobby, stay in the house, man. Like, stay in the house, find a hobby. Like, you can learn how to cook, make an omelet or something. Turn it to the Food Channel. I don't know, turn it to HGTV. What's that show they got with the people when they like walk dogs, but they live in an $800,000 house and they want to flip it? Watch one of them shows and let me know how they do it so I can walk dogs too and just have a big house made, you know, $800,000 worth of house just for walking dogs. And let me know how they do that. You know, find a hobby, learn how to fold fitted sheets or something. Like, you probably already know how to do that already being in jail, but hell, now you can learn how to do it on the king size bed, you know, when you get out. Like, learn a hobby, something. So, I don't know, but I honestly don't think Meek Mill's going to be in jail that whole 2 to 4 years. You know, it'll probably be like overcrowding, they'll let him out or something. But it's crazy because didn't he just like, I swear I just saw a clip of him, like he took the nice kids from like the Boys and Girls Club or the YMCA or something like that and took them to like the Phillies game and bought them shoes. And somebody was like, man, that was just a cover up because he knew he was about to go before the judge. I was like, well, dang, well, he tried. He was trying to work the system. That was him vacuuming. Judge said, no, you still going in. That's messed up, but it is what it is. Y'all give me the scoop on that story because I don't really know exactly how all that went down. Just tell me in the comment section. In addition to that, okay, so I see the Xscape show's people have been talking about that. Xscape, the R&B group, you know, they're semi back together, and so they have a show on Bravo Network that's kind of just following behind the scenes of their tour and I guess their reunion. If I knew it was only going to be 4 episodes, I would have done a review on it. Like, I don't normally do TV show reviews because I'm not in front of the TV that much to sit and commit to reviewing a show every day or every week for 12 weeks. Nah. But, you know, oh well. Unless it's like a special series that's only like 2 or 3 parts or something, I can do that. But anyway, some people were asking me if Kandi was doing too much, like, you know, being too much of a diva or too much of a, too high maintenance for the group. I wouldn't say she was. I just, you know, well, one, there's TV edited and they always make people look like they're doing more than what they should be. She was kind of getting on my nerves, to be honest, watching it. But then I was trying to look at it from her perspective as well. Like, it has to be tough to be in a group for a certain amount of time, and then that group disbands and you're not really in the mix with them, and they've been doing things the entire time, and so when you come back in, you're the odd person out. And it also doesn't help that the other 3, in my opinion, are the singers in the group. She did a lot of the writing and she was a lot of the creative force and stuff like that. But, and by the way, this is no discredit to her voice because I think her voice is unique and it works for what she does. And by the way, speaking of Kandi, that album that she came out with in like 2010 was actually really, really good. Just random thought. She had this song in there called Lucky. That was a really nice album. But anyway, I think that works against her as well. You're in a group of 2 powerhouse singers because the 2 sisters got those powerhouse voices, and then Tiny, you know, does her thing. And so you're the odd person out because the other 3 can sing up to the rafters. You can't really do it. And so with you, you know, saying your 2 cents all the time, people are like, oh, you're doing too much, Kandi. But I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be as hard on her if she had a better voice. And that's not a dig at her, it's just an observation. But I did laugh though. That part where they were doing Understanding and Kandi got, and they're like, no, we cut that part. And she's like, what? Like, that was the one part she was looking forward to because that's the one part she knew she could get. They're like, nah, we cut that part out. We on to the next song, but you go ahead and keep doing that. She was doing real good. I was like, y'all are jacked up. But we'll see how that goes. I actually think I want to get tickets to maybe that show. I don't know. I need to hurry though because it's probably going to be sold out soon, especially in DC. But no, I like Kandi. Like, she's, for some reason, something about her I like. Something about her appeals to me. I don't know what it is, but maybe, I don't know. I like Kandi. I don't got to beef with her. So maybe I got to watch the rest of the show. And probably because I don't watch that other show she's on, I don't really know what her personality is like. But when I see her, she seems pretty cool. But I think that show is a good idea, and I think they should do that with other acts too. Like a lot of groups that are just behind the scenes. Like, it would have been dope to have a show like that back in the day. Like, picture Jodeci having that show and the fights that they would have had. And like, I would like to know why Homeboy wasn't in the Get On Up video, because I told you that's my favorite Jodeci song. I want to know who fought who and why Devontae wasn't in that video. It would have been nice to see a show like that when TLC was fighting during the fan mail era. I would have loved to see the behind the scenes on that tour, because I know they were dragging each other and beating each other up in them back rooms. That would have been a great little show to see. So yeah, I think a lot of other acts should follow suit that are doing like reunions and stuff. You know, just kind of get back together and let us see behind the scenes. It's kind of cool because then you also can appreciate the artist too, and you appreciate their journey because you see the before and after. Moving on. Okay, this is not really that important to me, so I'm gonna talk about this for like 10 seconds, maybe more. So I saw this thing about Mariah Carey, and I guess she's been accused of like sexually assaulting or sexually harassing her security guard. He's basically saying she came in the room with like a sheer top and he could see her breast, and she tried to do something, but she never actually physically touched him. It's like, okay. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like somebody's trying to like set Mariah up or something, because I noticed she got rid of her manager, and ever since then there's been like 2 stories that come out. One of that with her like sexually assaulting the guy, and then the other thing with, you know, she had the surgery or whatever, that they, you know, the gastric sleeve so she could lose weight. Which I don't really buy either, because even when I notice Mariah is a little bit heavier than usual, she's not like this big, giant, obese person where it's a health crisis where you need to get to sleep. Because from what I understand, a lot of times when you have to get like gastric or something like that, you have to actually meet a certain weight requirement to even qualify for that. I don't think she was there. But then again, my other issue is like, I feel like a lot of entertainers in her age caliber, it kind of sucks for them because, of course, as you get older, you naturally gain weight anyway. You're going to gain that grown people weight that comes on. And so I think when you guys see Mariah in her bigger state, that's the natural state she would be in if she wasn't a celebrity. The same with somebody like a Janet Jackson or somebody. Right now, she's in tip-top shape because she's on tour, but I can guarantee you, as much as I like her, once she gets back into her zone and she's comfortable, she's going to go right back to her natural state, which is probably, you know, not obese or anything, but she, you know, people just put on some extra weight. It is what it is. And it doesn't take away from how great they are, but dang. But yeah, I'm just saying, if I was security, you know, my thing is, I think it's just he don't like Mariah, and so when she did that, he was like, no, because I bet you if it was somebody else, he wouldn't complain. Like, if I was security and it was Regina Hall, I wouldn't have any complaints at all. Not a single complaint. Regina could do whatever she wanted. Oh, this thing with the UCLA players. I know this is crazy. So you guys saw the thing about the UCLA players, and they were in China, and I guess they got caught shoplifting, and now they're facing 3 to 10 years in prison. My advice is whenever you go to a foreign country, that's not the place you want to get in any kind of trouble, because then if there's not a relationship with the United States, as far as a really good diplomatic one, you might be stuck over there. So they might have to ask Donald Trump for a ride back on his plane when he gets back from wherever he's at over there. But knowing him, he might make them have to take a knee and sing the national anthem and get every word correct in order to get on the plane, to be honest. But I think it's jacked because, honestly, listen, like, if the NCAA would allow these players to actually make money while they were playing, half of these kids wouldn't be stealing. Now, I know old boy's dad is rich because he was in the NBA and his brother's in the NBA now, and so I can't speak for him. But the other two, I don't know the situation, and I'm not justifying them stealing, but it's like, y'all got to use some common sense when you go to another country. Like, what you doing? And then, what was the store they were stealing? Was it Louis Vuitton or something? Like, y'all got that down the street when you get back home. Whether you in Detroit, LA, New York, Boston, wherever, you could have got that in the same spot. And most likely, if it was in China, it was at a discounted price, so what you stealing it for? But anyway, I don't know if they stole it or not. You know how the media be twisting things, so they might not have even stolen anything. But we'll find out. Then it's, Hollywood's crumbling. You know, all these executives are getting caught up with these sex scandals and everything. And I guarantee you, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be so many more to come out of the woodworks. I'm just praying that none of them are black. Like, please don't be nobody black. Just don't be nobody I respect. I'm not even going to name no names because I'm not putting it in the atmosphere. Just don't let it be any of my favorite people. That's all I pray. My goodness. And listen, R&B and hip-hop heads, y'all better pray that that Hollywood drama doesn't shift over to the music industry because it's going to go down. I just want y'all to know if it shifts to the R&B and hip-hop industry. I mean, it's going to be pretty much all of them, pop, country, all of them. But specifically for us, if it gets to that R&B hip-hop realm, there's going to be some stories. So we got to pray that there ain't nothing that's about to come out and that's nothing that actually happened. I guess the last thing I'll talk about, I'm not going to really talk about this election because y'all gassed it up and got excited. And I'm like, this is cool, but had everybody done what they needed to do in 2016, we wouldn't have to be so pressed about what's going on now. And I'm not saying, plus I got opinions on a lot of stuff, but I'm not going to be political in this one, so just dig through my channel and get my 2 cents on that. Last thing I'll talk about, Tamar and Vince. I don't usually spend a whole lot of time on people's relationships because I don't live in their house. But it's starting to sound like she's alleging that he's been abusive. Same thing with Jill Scott's situation too. I saw that she just got a restraining order from her husband. I'm like, what's going on? Because I never saw Vince and Tamar as like an abusive couple. But then I saw the story and they were talking about Vince had bit her finger that time. I'm kind of fighting me up. What? Okay. But what I think is jacked up is I think it was low that her sisters were talking to the media, telling all the business. You know what I mean? And then I think the mom did the same thing. Like they were all talking to TMZ and telling, you know, all the scoop and stuff. I don't know if she told them to go and do that, but, you know, if not, that's some low stuff there. Like, that's one thing. One rule with family is, like, you keep your family drama in the family. You don't let other people know what your business is, because then stuff gets out, people use things against you. And I think with, like, divorces and stuff, it's smart to keep things behind the scenes, especially when kids are involved, because then when you start adding custody and all that, if you put too much out there in the media, this, that, and the third, there's a bunch of chaos. Like, look at what was going on with Tyrese. Like, he's lucky that the charges were dropped, because honestly, I think they were going to take that child away from him, especially with the videos with him crying and stuff. People might have looked at that and said, okay, this guy has like a mental issue. The daughter's not safe with him anyway. And so, listen, it's a good thing, at least for him, that the charges were dropped, because I definitely saw them taking the daughter away from him. And plus, yeah, y'all add him to the prayer list or something, because that man's going through some stuff. Every 5 minutes he posting something crazy. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Y'all let me know if there's anything else popping off that I should talk about for the next series, for next week or the week after, or whenever I get back to it. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm out. Subscribe.